A truck driver's hands once performed something close to a mechanical ballet. No computer helped. No synchronizer forgave a mistake. Every gear change demanded perfect timing between engine speed and road speed. Miss it by a fraction, and the whole transmission screamed in protest. There was one exact moment when the gears would slide together, silent, almost weightless. Most drivers never found it. Picture the cab of a loaded rig sometime in the middle of the last century. No power steering cushioning the wheel, no assist on the clutch pedal. Just cast iron steel linkage and a driver's own strength standing between the engine and the road. That physical weight mattered. Every motion in that cab cost something. Pulling the lever wasn't a flick of the wrist, it was a shove, sometimes a wrestling match, especially on a cold morning when the grease inside the gearbox had thickened overnight. Drivers learned to brace a boot against the floorboard just to get enough leverage on the clutch. Because in a truck like this, the driver wasn't just steering, he was the transmission's brain, and the truck expected him to think fast. Here's the thing, modern drivers don't learn anymore. A car's gearbox has synchronizers, small mechanical referees that quietly match speeds for you every time you shift, slide the lever, and the synchronizer does the hard part. You barely notice it happening. Most drivers today have never once heard a gear fight back. Old heavy trucks had none of that. Non-synchronized gearboxes needed the engine's speed and the transmission speed brought together manually precisely before the gears would even think about meshing. Get it wrong and you'd hear it immediately, a grinding shriek that told the whole truck stop you didn't know what you were doing. Other drivers would look up from their coffee. Everyone knew that sound. Nobody wanted to be the one who made it. So drivers developed a workaround. A two-step process. Press the clutch to neutral, release it, then press it again to slide into the next gear. Two distinct motions, not one. Double clutching. It sounds almost bureaucratic when you say it fast like that. It wasn't. Each half of that motion had its own timing, its own feel, its own margin for failure. Do it a heartbeat too fast, and the gears hadn't caught up yet. Do it a heartbeat too slow, and you'd already lost the window. And loaded trucks made it worse. A heavy truck starting from a dead stop often needed to begin in a low gear, second on some 10-speed boxes, or the low range entirely on the bigger 13 and 18-speed setups. Start in the wrong gear under a full load, and the engine would bog, stall, or lurch in a way that told everyone behind you exactly what had just happened. A new driver's first week on a loaded route was, more often than not, a week of red-faced restarts at every stop sign. There was no shortcut through it, no manual override, just the driver's hands doing what a machine now does automatically in every passenger car on the road. But here's what almost nobody talks about. The clutch and the lever were only half the equation. The real skill wasn't in your hands at all, it was in your ear and in your right foot learning to read something you couldn't see. Because underneath every one of those gear changes sat a single unforgiving requirement. Engine RPM had to match the transmission speed almost exactly before the gears would accept each other without a fight. Not close, not roughly, matched. Before dashboards carried the instrumentation we take for granted now, drivers didn't have much to go on. A tachometer, if they were lucky. Mostly, they had their ears and the vibration coming up through the seat and the floor. The engine's pitch told them everything a screen tells a driver today. Upshifting meant easing off the throttle at the right instant, letting the engine's RPM fall to meet the slower speed of the next gear up. Downshifting flipped the problem entirely. You needed the opposite. A manual truck guide from drivers who lived this every day lays out the basic sequence plainly. Release the throttle, press the clutch, move the lever, then release the clutch smoothly. Simple to write, brutal to execute at highway speed with 80,000 pounds behind you. Here's the part that catches people off guard. Downshifting required the driver to briefly raise engine RPM while sitting in neutral, a quick blip of the throttle, time to lift engine speed up to meet the faster spinning lower gear waiting on the other side of that shift. Briefly, that word matters. Too long and you'd overshoot, the gears clashing from the other direction. Too short and you'd undershoot, met with that same grinding shriek. The window was narrow, and it moved depending on load, grade, and speed. Truck News later captured what veterans said this actually taught you. Drivers described the discipline as learning to double clutch, shift at low RPM, and use torque. The phrase that stuck with them was simpler still. You learn to get in touch with your truck. Not force it, not muscle it. Listen to it. Because a truck under load doesn't behave the same way twice. Same gear, same road, different day. The RPM window shifts slightly, and only a driver who is paying attention would catch it before the grind. That kind of listening isn't something you can rush. It's built 1 mile at a time. But some drivers pushed past even that level of precision into something the manuals never quite described. Ask a veteran driver about the best shift they ever made, and you'll hear the same strange phrase again and again. A moment when the gears seem to float. Zero gravity. It's not a technical term. You won't find it in a manual. But drivers on forums, comparing notes across decades, kept landing on the same description. A brief instant, right in the middle of the shift, where the internal forces on the gears seem to cancel each other out entirely. Torque drops off, the teeth stop fighting each other, and for a fraction of a second, the gears aren't grinding against anything, they're just floating there, waiting. Slide the lever during that window, and it goes in like the transmission was never resisting you at all. No force required, no sound, just a soft click, gear seated, like the truck had been waiting for you to notice. Miss it by even a little, and you're back to fighting steel with steel, grinding through a window that already closed. Some experienced drivers took this even further, describing a technique they called pre-loading the stick, applying a light, steady pressure toward the next gear before the RPMs had even finished lining up. Not shoving it in. Just resting there, waiting, so that the instant the zero-gravity moment arrived, the gear was already positioned to slip through. It's a strange kind of patience. You're not reacting to the moment. You're anticipating it, positioning your hand slightly ahead of a window that hasn't opened yet. Some drivers said it felt less like operating a machine and more like reading a heartbeat through the palm of your hand, waiting for the exact beat between contractions to slide something through unnoticed. Here's what made this different from the earlier lessons on RPM matching. That was a skill built on sound and feel, matching numbers essentially, even if you were doing it by ear. This was something else. Forum drivers describing this technique called it a timing-based RPM match, distinct from simply guessing at a number and hoping. It's the difference between knowing the note and feeling the beat. Newer drivers watching a veteran do this for the first time often assumed they were witnessing a trick, some kind of shortcut being taken. It wasn't a shortcut, it was the opposite. Years compressed into a single motion, so smooth it looked effortless, when it was anything but. And once a driver found that window consistently, shift after shift, load after load, something shifted in how other drivers saw them. This wasn't someone who'd merely learned the mechanics. This was someone who'd absorbed the truck's rhythm so completely that the clutch pedal was starting to look optional. And that's exactly where the most controversial claim in old-school trucking comes from. Some drivers said the clutch wasn't always necessary at all. Say that to a new driver today and you'll get a look somewhere between confusion and suspicion. But experienced drivers on forums insisted it wasn't a trick, and it definitely wasn't laziness. Using the clutch on every single shift, they argued, was never strictly required on a non-synchronized gearbox. A properly timed shift could work with light clutch use or sometimes none at all. Picture it. A driver's foot resting flat on the floor, nowhere near the pedal, while the gear lever slides cleanly from one slot to the next. No grinding, no hesitation, just a hand moving in perfect sync with an engine that isn't even connected to the transmission at that instant. It looks like showing off. It isn't. Forum drivers who'd spent years behind the wheel were clear about this. Clutchless shifting still depends entirely on matching RPM to road speed. It doesn't remove the skill. It removes the safety net. Without the clutch to buy you a little forgiveness, your timing has to be exact, every single time. There's no second chance built into the process anymore, no cushion to hide a half second of hesitation. That's the part that gets lost. There's a common idea floating around that clutchless shifting proves the clutch was pointless all along, that if you can skip it, it must not have mattered. Experienced drivers pushed back hard on that read. They described it instead as a timing-based RPM match happening at the precise moment torque drops off, the exact same zero-gravity window, just executed with nothing standing between the driver and failure. Say it slowly because it matters. The moment torque drops off, that's the entire skill, compressed into a fraction of a second with no clutch pedal left to bail you out if you're wrong. Think about what that actually requires. A driver has to feel the engine's load shift, hear the pitch change, and predict the exact instant the gears will stop pushing against each other, and do it without the forgiveness a clutch normally buys you. One driver on a forum thread described it as threading a needle while the needle was moving. That image stuck, because it's exactly right. Among veteran drivers, doing this consistently wasn't dismissed. It was closer to a quiet badge of honor, proof that you understood your truck at a level most people never would. New drivers who saw it done right in front of them sometimes assumed it was luck, a one-time fluke. Then they'd watch it happen again and again, gear after gear, and realize luck had nothing to do with it. Because here's the reversal nobody expects. The version of shifting that looks the laziest was actually demanding the most. So if this was mastery, real, hard-earned, respected mastery, why did the industry walk away from it? Not because anyone decided the skill didn't matter anymore. That's the part that stings if you loved these machines. Nobody sat in a boardroom and declared double clutching obsolete out of spite. The real pressure was economic. Truck News put it plainly. Fleets and manufacturers moved toward easier operation and fuel-saving techniques instead of broad driver mastery. That's the whole story, in one sentence. And it's not a satisfying one. There was no villain, just a market chasing efficiency. Think about what automated systems actually solved. A company training new hires didn't need to spend weeks teaching someone to feel RPM through the floor of a cab. An automated transmission handled the timing itself, every time, without needing thousands of miles of trial and error first. That meant more available drivers, faster onboarding, fewer stalled starts, fewer grinding gears from someone still learning. Fewer expensive mistakes, too. Every grind, every missed shift under load was wear on equipment that fleets paid to replace. From a spreadsheet, automation was obviously the right call. But something else went quiet along with the noise of grinding gears. Ask any veteran what they actually learned from years of double clutching, and it was never just about the shift itself. Truck News captured this directly. Drivers describing manual transmissions as the thing that taught them to get in touch with your truck. That phrase, again, not operate it, not pilot it. Get in touch with it. New drivers today can climb into a modern semi, take the automated controls, and be moving freight competently within days. That's not a failure. That's an entire industry solving a real problem. Training time, driver shortages, fuel costs that punish inefficient shifting. But it did mean something quietly disappeared from daily necessity. The feel of a truck bogging slightly before a stall. The sound that told you the RPM window was closing. The patience of preloading a stick and waiting for a moment that doesn't announce itself. You can't put that on a spec sheet. And once it stopped being necessary, most people simply stopped learning it. And yet the skill never fully died. It just stopped being loud. Somewhere out there, an old truck sits in someone's garage, fully restored, its non-synchronized gearbox still intact, still demanding the exact same timing it demanded decades ago. Start it up, and the truck doesn't care that the rest of the industry moved on. It still needs the same brief RPM blip in neutral, the same patient hand on the lever, the same ear tuned to a pitch most people never learned to hear. Hand that truck to a new driver, someone who learned entirely on automated systems, and watch what happens. The grind comes back immediately, not because they're careless, because nobody ever taught them what their ear was supposed to be listening for. Truck News didn't frame this as a lost cause, though. Their reporting was clear that there's still value in learning manual transmission, even in a market that's clearly moved elsewhere. Not because every driver needs it daily anymore, because the underlying principle behind it never actually stopped applying. Matching engine RPM to road speed is still the basic principle beneath how a diesel truck responds. Automated or not, the computer just does the listening now. It reads the same signals a veteran driver once read through the seat of his pants. Engine load, road speed, the exact instant torque should shift from one gear to the next, and it acts on them in milliseconds no human reflex could match. So the skill didn't vanish, it got absorbed. Buried inside the software of every automated transmission rolling down the highway right now is the same principle that once separated a rookie from a master, matching speed to speed, load to gear, timing to torque. The clutch pedal disappeared from daily necessity. The grinding gears went quiet. But the physics underneath never changed, and it never will, no matter how many computers stand between a driver's foot and the engine. That zero-gravity moment is still there every single shift on every truck on the road. It just happens in silence now, hidden inside a machine, instead of in the calloused hands of someone who spent thousands of miles learning exactly where to find it. If stories like this are the ones that stick with you, subscribe to Unearth Power, because the machines change, but the engineering behind them never stops being worth understanding.